Well, good morning, folks. Welcome to episode 1 of season 2 of Moontime Devotions. It's a pleasure to have you, folks. This has been a long-awaited isolated event, and today's beautiful message is decorative days are coming. Decorative days to come. Decorative days are here. And despite the Panasonic state of the world, we are in some love, action, productivity, prospering, and we are really moving in so well with the new season, with our new studio, of course. And so, today's episode is talking about the state of the world and the Panasonic state of the world. As usual, we are here extremely early in the morning. I had just woken up, quite frankly, and have arrived on time to our studio, and we're collecting our thoughts, and we have our coffee. Now today I made me a makeshift coffee. I kind of jury-rigged with the coffee pot last night and came prepared, so in the morning I could just grab the coffee and I could go to the studio and we can really box the content in. So 8 channels later, on a wireless receiver, if you know what I mean, kind of a body pack, transmitter. Today's transmitter is our coffee on the go, contained, of course, in a smart water bottle. So we went ahead and recycled, reused, and relove. We used the smart water bottle and we filled it up with some cold brew and some cocoa and some sugar. And we made a little mixture, a little jury-rigged coffee. And so, of course, here we are early in the morning with our coffee. And today we're going to talk about the state of the world. Now, there's beautiful things going on in the world at the moment, despite the wars and the big things going on. I heard out where I used to live, funny enough, in the LA area, there was actually some riots going along, these crazy riots, and it's because I think our president at the moment decided to have some authority, some superiors come in there and take away some folks, and so that's caused quite the uproar. I have no opinion on it necessarily as far as political affiliation or anything like that. I would just simply say that this is the state of the world. It's in a Panasonic tailspin, and it's just unfortunate that this is what's going on. But in other parts of the world, things are just dandy. If you go down to Hawaii, it's tropical, it's beautiful, it's surreal, serene, clean, and very expensive. A very expensive place to live. And so if you have the money, go live somewhere fancy like Hawaii, or Italy, or Sicily, or New Amsterdam, or New Zealand. But if you don't have the financial provisions needed, you can find yourself stuck in a place that there could be some things going on, some overall systematic takeovers and rioting and violent reform, and I remember what my grandfather used to say before he had passed away. He would say, when it goes to moontime devotions, when the world goes into full moontime devotion, you know that the epidemic can fall apart with a cup of coffee, a good smile, and a decorative day to come. And I would say that that's a very much so true. It rings so true even today that a moontime devotion can really eclipse away the darkness that comes into this world that tries to take over our towns and our cities and our people. And so the beautiful thing about that is a little cup of coffee and a little bit of happiness in your life, a little bit of joy, can really keep the things going. And so that's all nice and well. As we go through these troubles, these times of turmoil, it's more important to find little moments where you can smile and you can be happy, even if it's just the little things that do that for you. Try to find out what it is. Some people it's riding a bike, some people it's riding a unicycle, some people is stacking chairs up at a local church or for a local event. Some people it's Advent. For me it's more avant-garde, if you will. But there is proper ways to find a little bit of joy in this crazy world. And so, again, I think that the most beautiful thing we can do is try to find as much joy as possible. So that's my first point for today. We are bringing back the 5 points. The 5 points, as per usual, for our noontime devotions. So, point number 1, find a little joy where you can. Point number 2, health. Body, health, mind. Body, health, mind. Mind, health, body. Body, health, mind. From the health for body and mind. See, you can take care of your body. You gotta take care of your body. I remember my grandmother would always tell me, if you don't take care of your body, somebody else will, And so you gotta take care of it. You gotta make sure that all your bells and whistles are working. Make sure all your vital organs are feeling okay. Drink lots of water. Eat lots of food. Do lots of exercise. Get lots of sleep. These are all important things for your health. Being a talk show host as I am, I don't get all these things all the time. And so sometimes I have to really stretch it out for 4 or 5 days where I don't get any rest, I don't get any sleep, I don't get to eat, I don't get any petite, potato, you gotta take care of your motto. That's my motto, is you gotta take care of your lotto. Gelato. You want your body to feel like a gelato, okay? You want to feel real good, and you'll be as clean and free and yummy. You'll be as yummy feeling as you are taking care of your body. And so that's our second point, is health. We have to find joy in the world. We want good health, great health will really prosper you as you get older and as you make it through. So as per usual, folks, here I am, early in the morning, and still rubbing my eyes, still waking up, still playing the fancy patootie trumpet old thing right here in the morning. And the beautiful thing is, you gotta have light. And I guess that would be my third point, is when the darkest waters come to try to drown us out, when the darkest blanket comes to smother us down and into the dirt or into the ground, you gotta find the light, Even if it's just a little crack, that's where the light comes through. That is where the light can shine through into your life, and it can really bring you happiness, like ornaments shining under a street light on a nice Christmas evening. It's a beautiful thing to have a little bit of that. And so, you got a kind of a power adapting light force that can come through, and you just let it in. You just let the light in, as you see here, we've got lots of lights, At our old studio, we had the lamp, the iconic donated lamp from Boogeyman 56, we have not forgotten. And we're very grateful that he donated that. Since he's donated that, we've upgraded. And so it just goes to show the beautiful gifts that a little bit of light can do when it's gleaming and shining and surrounding any kind of part of your beautiful life. And so folks, as I said in the first season, we are currently still working on the documentary of the origin story of Noontime Devotions. And that's still in progress. In the meantime, we're trying to hurry up and finish season 2 as much as we can. We started filming season 2 at the old studio, but we had to kind of take a hiatus and take a little break because of some funding issues and some creative differences from our higher ups. But most importantly, just a new change of location. And it was very much worth the pause and the action. As much as I wanted to dish these episodes out as quickly as possible, it definitely was rewarding. It was a love action, rewarding path to go. Because here we are, brightly in the future of things. And so it was definitely worth the wait. And the weight of the world. Don't let the weight of the world bring you down. The world has lots of weight. You know, it's got a lot of water, it's got a lot of land mass, it's got a lot of people. And this can be really heavy. It's a lot to carry. And so don't let the weight of the world bring you down. You know, the weight is just it's gonna hold you down. You won't be able to walk around very much. You don't want to be overcome by the weight of life or the state of the world in which that we have to live around. And so it's kind of an apples to apples thing where you do a little circle around the apples to apples, and you can really get an onion ring in there if you really want to. And so that's where we can find a little more outer space, right? Outer space has no weight. It floats, it's free, and there's no gravity. And so if you can, try to be light like no gravity, like you just float away. You know, you fly away into the outer spaces of time and of locations and places and things. And you can do that by just not carrying the weight of too much in your life or in the world. And so, that, you know, that's another thing, because this is a show where we give life advice as best as we can. And so we try to encourage our viewers to be happy and to let the weight of what they might be carrying at times be dropped off. They can drop it off right here, right there on the doorstep. And we can really, we can dish it out into the trash can because we don't need that. You know, the weight could be thrown away into the trash, land massing trash. We just trash it. You know, we don't need that. And so there's some things, that I think we'd all like to see. And there's probably my next point is change. Change is now. Change is now. The seasons are changing. The world is changing. You're changing. I'm changing. The whole universe is constantly changing. Kind of like a metamorphosis of rocks. You know, the life of a rock is it's always changing. It's stone, and then it's molten, and it's from volcanoes, and from volcano to rock to stone to dirt to ground to country to underground to out of the underground to fossil, archaeologically involved in almost every aspect of nature. And that's a beautiful thing about the rolling stone. Be as if you are a rolling stone. A rolling stone, yes. Very much like the band or the artist who wrote that song, Rolling Stone. Who was it? It was Bobby Vincano. I think it was Bobby Vincano who wrote Rolling Stone. Be like a rolling stone coming down a hillside. It's a side right up that hill, rolling stone, coming at me with a nice little dill. And you can season it that way too. So that's when I would like to say that being like a rolling stone will help you kind of roll along with the way the world is going and where the regional differences are that you might be dealing with or not dealing with. Either way, make it real free, real easy, real happy, real light. So we find that happiness through any kind of a little bit of joy, and we can find some other beautiful things as we continue to walk around the earth and discover who we are, who you are. Pardon me, I gotta get a drink of this, of our makeshift coffee. This is very much a light coffee. It is a light roast. It's a light roast coffee, and that's just wonderful. I think so. Really, I would say that's a 9-channel licensed transmitter right there, 288. You got to have original batteries, folks. Have original batteries in your life source. You can plug her in right here in the back of the head, and these are metaphors that help us kind of design our culture and how we find productivity, love, action in our day today, as decorative days have come and are coming and are going to increase more and more and more. And so there you go. Find a little bit of joy. Don't let the weight of the world carry you down. It's light. Have light. Have the light shine through. And be happy overall with just being alive and being able to breathe. Being a breathing being is quite the luxury. Quite the luxury. There's some living creatures out there that don't breathe. Can you imagine? Can you imagine being living and not breathing? I do believe that would be a much more difficult life experience than being a being who can breathing. While being right back, you can always breathe, beam up the breath and your backlash. So you can really play a little bingo breath if you want. Bingo breath is something I like to think about. I came up with this little analogy. It's called bingo breath. Okay, embrace the bingo breath, because bingo is a very fun game. It's a very fun game where they call out the numbers and you go, I got 37. I got 37. 46. I got 56, not 46. And so when you're playing bingo, it's real fun. And when you finally get all those numbers lined up, you go, bingo! Bingo! And so with bingo comes bingo breath. When you finally say bingo, you get that nice breath of victory, a victory breath from a bingo card. And so that's why I call it bingo breath. Bingo breath is one of the best little tactics I have of survival when it comes to living here on Earth. And it keeps things very fun and interesting when you can really embrace the bingo breath. And, all alongside letting the light shine through with a little bit of joy. And you can really cook yourself a nice little winter dinner, if you will, no matter what season it is, by embracing these beautiful ways of making life the fullest you possibly can. Because life is a short thing. I guess that's my last point here, is life is a short it's like a short film. We only have so much time here in this life to manifest what we truly desire, depending on what's in our heart, or what's in our soul, or what's in our mind. We don't have a lot of time. None of us do. And so do what you want that's going to make you happy. I've had viewers come on here and tell me before, a lot of what you say, Mr. Graham Smith, is so repetitive. It's so repetitive. Episode after episode, you say the same thing. Well, unfortunately, folks, I have to. These positive affirmations not only encourage myself, but they encourage anybody who listens, especially our viewers. And so, yes, I'd rather have repetitive positive affirmations being broadcasted, being said, than some of the other topics that other TV shows and podcasts and broadcasts kind of go over. A lot of what they go over is news, or celebrity nonsense, political nonsense, things that ultimately don't matter for how short life is. And so that's why, if I'm going to waste any time, quite honestly, on talking about anything repetitive, or talking in a repetitive manner, I'm going to try to make sure that it's positive affirmations, because that positivity can spread. And you never know who's on the other side of that screen. Somebody just might watch that one day, and it'll just give them that extra little boost to go down and get that 24 karat gold that they've been waiting in line to get. It's kind of like waiting in line at an amusement park. You teeter and you're tottering, it's super hot, and that 24 karat gold is just right at the edge of that little poppy hole. And so when you're waiting in line for that poppy hole of gold, you can remember that the teeter and the totter and the sweater wetter and the swaying, you can single out a song of positive affirmations, and that'll keep the line going quickly. We're all waiting in line, hypothetically, metaphorically, of course, waiting in line for something beautiful, whether it's getting older, for a career, successful career, maybe it's an educational goal. You never know. But a little bit of singing of positive affirmations is a beautiful thing. And it really will. It'll keep you on the right time for the moon devotion. That's what the whole point of Moontime Devotions is about, is trying to encourage people to keep those Moontime Devotions up and running. Because those positive affirmations being practiced and being spoken out early in the morning is very, very successfully rewarding for you, for me, for him, for her, for all kinds. And so that's a beautiful thing. That is a beautiful thing. Multifarious, I would say, positive affirmations will increase your longevity in life. And so really, I think that's a 30-second defrost. I think that's a 30-second defrost on the left clicker, kind of like a little rope swing, a rope swing with cheesecake on it. Swinging like this. You got cheesecake on this rope swing, and it's going ring, 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 ring. And cheesecake is creamy and it's cheesy. And so when you have cheesy cream cake on a rope swing, guess what's happening? You're flying with it, right? You're flying with the slippery goop of cheese. And it'll make you fall into that river. And when you're into the river or into the lake, depending on which location you fall into by the cheesecake rope swing, you can find serenity, peace, complete and utter peace under that water. especially if it's during the moon 10 devotion time zone. Then you could really be beautiful that way. So again, I'll reiterate some of our points. I don't know if I remember all of them completely. It is very early in the morning, and just like always, folks, our shows are taken in one shot, live, unedited, unfiltered, uncensored. We keep this whole thing very raw as honey in the caves of Mexico. And so I think, so our first point was joy. Find a little bit of joy in this dark, dark world. The state of the world will bring you down. So joy will keep you going. It's like Christmas lights on the top of a building, like a white little shack you'd find downtown. And our second point was happiness. Find happiness, I believe. That kind of goes inside with joy. The weight. Don't let the weight of the world bring you down. The weight of the world will smack you down. It's a heavy weight. So try to keep things light. Try to keep things very, very light and easy going. Easy yoke. You can make it an easy yoke. And speaking of light, let the light shine through. Even if there's just one crack in your negative thinking, if it come around, if it arises, let there be just one little crack where the light can shine through, because that light is always going to be brighter than anything dark has to say. And that's something that I love to remember, because sometimes the negative thoughts, they try to come through. And you know what? That's okay. They can come through. They set up shop in my mind, but then the crack, there's a crack in the ceiling. And there's just enough light to sit there and shimmer in the light, even if you're in a dark room. And so there you go. There's our light, our weight, our joy, our confidence, our character, our productivity, our love action, our health, right? That was another point, is our health. And I think that's all that we had for today as far as the current state of the world. I did have some viewers tell us before we, who got to see a pre-screening of our episode here. They said, "Oh my goodness, well, why are you talking about the state of the world again?" It was this repetitive thing. Our critics, we love our critics, by the way. Our critics will critique and keep this show tip-top shape. So we love our critics, but our critics were telling us, they were saying, "Oh, no, you've already done the topic of the state of the world. Why would you do it again?" Well, I'll tell you why we do it again, because the state of the world is, like my fifth point, is always changing. It's always, it's perpetual. The state of the world is perpetual. And so there's always something beautiful that could be or could not be or could happen. And so it's always a changing thing. And so the repetitive positive affirmations will keep us revitalized no matter what time it is or what life you're living, or no matter what kind of human being you are.